What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be looking at a board designed by Kurt Henson out of Lennox Head Australia. The board is the Aloha twin pin and it's a mid-length. Now the version I'm riding is 6'8" by 20 1/4 by 2 3/4, and it comes in at 39.63 liters. And I'm 5'8" and weigh 145 pounds. So at this length, it is a mid-length for me. They do have smaller options, so it doesn't need to be surfed like a mid-length. And with the pintail and general look of this board, it could also be a great step up. On this particular day, it was really soft. A lot of people were missing waves because the waves rolled and feathered for so long, it made timing super difficult. However, this board, because of its length and volume, it didn't take much to get me up and going. Now looking at the footage, I was probably catching 3 to 5 times more waves than most of the people surfing this day. So now the board transitioned from rail to rail really well. Here you'll see me pump the wave, and for a little while the board felt like a short board. And I think a lot of it had to do with its concaves. So as you can see, the board starts its concave really close to the nose and goes pretty far back, with its deepest point being somewhere around the halfway point. Now from there, as you make your way back towards the fins, it turns into a double barrel, and that goes all the way back to, behind the fins. And at the very tip of its tail, it is flat. Now as for the rocker, the board is stated to have a low entry, but when looking at it, it looks closer to a medium to me. Because I'm visually measuring, my perception could be wrong. The tail rocker is also medium and starts pretty high up on the board. So I got to try this board in several different conditions. Now on the first day of testing, it was super high tide, soft, and shore break. The board did very well to get me into position, get me into the waves, and on occasion did some decent maneuvers. Now relative to some of the other mid-lengths that I've reviewed, this board is a bit harder to turn. Now pins and rounded pins for me turn much more smoother than other boards, but they don't seem to cut angles, so basically pivot as well. Some of the other boards just had tighter turning radiuses, and if you watched my last review of the FM, you'll definitely notice the difference in the turns. However, having said that, this is probably one of the fastest boards I've ever ridden. So just the nature of the concave, the low entry, low to medium entry, and medium exit, especially the deep concave, kind of flattens out that bottom curve, allows water to flow really fast through it. So in a lot of the bigger waves that I surfed, it was very useful to have that speed. Day 2 was low tide and the waves were much punchier, and if you notice the curve of the face of the wave, it's a little bit steeper. So this board did really well to hold its rail, go down the line super fast, and it allowed me to do a lot of like foam climbs and, you know, pseudo top turns. I had too much speed to try to like pivot it. The board is just super fun, and literally it's changing the way I think about step ups and mid lengths, and more importantly, the construction of a surfboard. Now I love EPS, I love Firewires, my Dark Arts, love those boards. But I notice there's a theme to those boards, which is they're much smaller and they're more performance grovelers. Now with the step up, this Aloha is PU construction. So there's a little bit of weight to it, but what I figured out was that the weight of the board allows for so much momentum that I understand what they mean by it carries a lot of speed. So with a lot of my other boards, especially the EPS boards, I have to generate the speed, and as soon as I stop, it slows down to whatever that max speed is that the wave's going to give me. But this board, if I stop pumping, it would still just continue to carry the speed. And this was true for maneuvers as well as going down the line and even paddling into it. Now one place that I absolutely love this board is when it got big. And we had a maxed out swell for the beach that I normally surf, and this board got me into those waves. And surprisingly, I thought I wasn't going to be able to make it out because I can't duck dive this size of board. But maybe because it's PU, I just needed to get it deep enough to where I can hold on to the board, and the board kept me from, you know, going back. So it was interesting, and therefore this is one of the reasons why it's changed my perception of step-ups, right? I thought I should only go a little bit, but now I'm thinking I might want something around the 6'6" range. So bottom line is if you're looking for a mid-length, this is a great option. If you're looking for a step-up, this is also a great option. By the way, I suck at surfing big waves. I only get to surf them maybe once or twice a year, so not too much practice on them. To sum it up, I just want to say that this is a fantastic board. I love it as a mid-length. I love the fact that it's a twin pin, and I love it as a step-up. I think I'm going to end it here, at least with the commentary. I'll let the rest of the video play out with music. Like I said, I actually got to surf this board in many different conditions. So please, you know, look at the video. Day one, I think I surfed it a total of 6 or 7 days. The waves are all different shapes and sizes. So it worked from 2 foot all the way up to double overhead. So I truly hope you guys will consider this board. I think it will surprise you as it surprised me. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe. It'll help the algorithm, it'll help the channel. Thanks for the continued support. Thanks for watching, and until the next one.